In 8.6, we've been solving rational equations, and so these are just reminder notes to if you need to review before the test. To begin with, if I want to solve this rational equation, I'm going to need to factor my x squared minus 9. So I've got 8x squared over x, plus 3 times x minus 3, because it's a difference of squares. And then I've got 4x over x plus 3 here. And now if I want to put these two fractions together, I need a common denominator. So I see they both have an x plus 3, which means I'm going to multiply this by x minus 3 on top and on bottom. I'm going to change this minus sign to plus a negative 4x so that when I distribute into my parentheses, I remember to keep the negative. So now I've got 8x squared, negative 4x times x is a negative 4x squared. And a minus times a minus gives me a plus 12x all over the common denominator, which I'm going to leave factored. And then when I combine like terms, 8x squared minus 4x squared is 4x squared plus 12x, and then this is all over x plus 3 times x minus 3. On this side, I'm going to go ahead and bring down the left-hand side of my equation. And now, since I have two fractions equal to each other, I can use cross multiplication to solve. So when I cross multiply, I'm going to put parentheses here. And let's see, I've got 6 times x plus 3 times x minus 3 equals x minus 3 times 4x squared plus 12x. Now notice that on both sides of my equation I have x minus 3. This means that I could divide both sides by x minus 3 in order to simplify this problem a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, cancel those out. And now I distribute my 6 in, and I have 6x plus 18 equals 4x squared plus 12x. I see that I have a quadratic, and I know that in order to solve a quadratic, I need to get 0 on one side. So I'm going to take 6x and 18 away from both sides. When I do this, I get 0 on one side, and I have 4x squared, 12 minus 6 is 6x, and a minus 18. And now I see that these all have 2 in them, so I'm going to divide every term by 2. So I get 0 equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 9. And now I need to factor this. I could use the quadratic formula, but factoring is typically faster. When I look to factor this, I know I need 2x squared, so one has to be a 2x and the other has to be an x. And then I have to get a negative 9. That makes me think that it probably has to be 3 and 3, typically. It could be 1 and 9 also, but I'm just going to go with 3 and 3 first as a guess. Now let's see, I want to get a plus 3x in the middle. 2x times 3x gives me 6. And here I get a 3x. So I want 6x and 3x to combine in such a way to give me a positive 3. So I know I want it to be a plus 6x. So I've got to put my plus sign here to get a plus 6x and my minus sign here to get a minus 3x. Now I set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So I get x equals 3 halves, or I get x plus 3 equals 0, so x equals negative 3. And then the last thing I have to do is check for extraneous solutions. Typically it's going to be when one of these guys makes our denominator above and the original problem be 0. So if I go back up and I look at the original problem, my answers supposedly are x equals negative 3 or x equals 3 halves. And when I look up here, if I were to plug negative 3 into x plus 3, that would make this denominator be 0. Which is impossible. I can't have 0 in the denominator. So I know that x minus 3 is extraneous, and x equals 3 halves is my only answer. And as always, you could plug that back into the original problem and just double check that it actually works. All right, I hope that helps. Make sure you study for your test tonight, do your review packet, and you guys will rock your test tomorrow.